There's a number of different ways to schedule a mechanic to actually work on a job, and there's a few things I want to describe or explain along the way. Right now, we're actually looking at a service ticket, so I'll start here. One of the things that we can do if we open up the detail on the job and scroll down just a little bit, you'll see a button here that says Schedule a Service Tech. And when I click that button, it will open up a list that contains all of my individual mechanics and then the time slots that I have selected, whether I'm hourly or 30 minutes or 15 minutes. Now, I'm going to talk for a second about time slots because it's kind of something that people get a little distracted with. The reason that we select times instead of just slots is because we integrated our service list into our schedule into the schedule incoming. So if you have a customer that says I'm going to be there on Monday to get a tire changed, you can actually go in and put in the time that he's going to be here on Monday so that the mechanics know exactly when to expect him. But at the same time, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever to try to schedule a mechanic to work on something at a specific time. It's never going to happen, and you're going to end up chasing yourself all day long trying to keep all of it organized. So what we recommend is scheduling a mechanic slot. Schedule the incoming as they come in. That's pretty easy because the customer's telling you what time and what day they're going to show up. But schedule the mechanic 1 day, maybe 2 days ahead so that you just have enough for him to work on and you're not constantly having to reschedule everything. Now in this video, we're going to be showing you how to schedule that original schedule, and in the next video, we'll show you how to reschedule something that was already on a schedule. But all you're going to do is from this list, when it opens up, we're just going to pick the time slot and the mechanic that we want to schedule on this particular job. And it'll open up and ask us, how do they want the thing? How urgent is it? And this is not required to set this. But let's just say it's end of day. It's going to take about an hour to do this particular job, and we're going to start at 10 a.m. So we're just going to go ahead and save it. Now, what has happened is on this particular job, Lizzy's actually scheduled the mechanic to actually go and do the work for that particular point in time. So if you look down here on this day at 10 o'clock, everything's on the schedule. Now, if I were to go over here to the service list and look at our schedule incoming list, you can see that there's actually a time slot here for that unit and that particular job. Now you can see up here we've got a color code on our schedule incoming. It tells us, is it scheduled for the current contact, where it's not in here. It's actually something he's going to be bringing to us, whether it's scheduled and whether or not it's hooked to a job. This is actually hooked to a particular job, and that's why it's colored coded that way. Now, if I were to go about this a different way, maybe I'm on the service list. And from the service list, I'm going to tell it to view all customers. And from here, I want to look at everything that parts are ready for pickup. So in other words, the mechanic can go get the items and pick them up and start working on this particular job. And we're going to go ahead and click the little calendar here, and you'll notice it opens up the same schedule that we had before. Now, in this particular case, this job was scheduled previously, so it's taken me, if you look, it's taken me to 11/14/2013. We're not a very efficient shop around here. But it's taken us back to a point in time to show us the schedule. But if the mechanic was not scheduled, say we come up here and we look at ready for scheduling, this will bring up a list of things that actually those are already assigned. I think there is a view unassigned jobs. Here it is. So this will give us a list of things that have not been assigned. So when I click the calendar here, it opens up for today. Notice this is the schedule that we already had earlier. I'm going to schedule this for a different mechanic, and we'll just put in that it's going to take 2 hours to complete the job, and we'll save it. And so as we're going along, that list, and I'll just open it back up from here, but that list is growing based on what I'm putting on each of the mechanics, and I can point to it and it'll give me additional detail about that particular job. So it's fairly trivial to go in and schedule a mechanic for a particular job. And one thing you also need to understand is the service list, when you're doing it from here, this is not a list of repair orders. This is a list of individual jobs that are on those repair orders so that you can assign different mechanics to do different parts of the job if you need to. So that's really all there is to actually scheduling a mechanic to work on a particular job.